Welcome to Inside the Firm, a podcast dedicated to small business owners and hosted by entrepreneurs, Alex Gore and Lance Cayko. Each week, they take you on their journey of how to start, run, and grow a business by bringing you inside their architecture and real estate development firm. Get a behind-the-scenes tour of how these business leaders manage their clients and foster company culture while creating new and innovative projects. And now your hosts, Alex Gore and Lance Cayko.
Welcome to another edition of Inside the Firm. I am your host, Alex Gore. I'm here with semi-professional fisherman, Lance Cayko. Is that how you say it?
Absolutely. Semi-professional because I haven't got paid yet.
Yeah.
Because all I got to do is get paid one time and I move into professional category. You got it. You got it, my friend.
So anything he says today, don't base it off of him being an architect. Base it off of fisherman knowledge.
That's it.
Fisherman lore.
I'll catch him. So you got it. As more and more businesses and tenants demand green design in their building, LEED certification is more important than ever, Al. And while ARCAT is known for being red with their company colors, they can help you go green with your building. ARCAT provides thousands of LEED reports from building product manufacturers on how their products can help make the green choice that's right for your project. Head over to arcat.com and find out the information you need for LEED. L-E-E-D, LEED. Go to arcat.com today. Check them out. They also have tons of CAD details. They have the spec wizard. They have tons of building information models, built a lot of them by yours truly, some by Al truly.
Can you? Yes.
Check them out.
Okay.
What are you wasting your time for? Head over there. It's free.
Is there any
Best
way
part.
we could do this live? Could you look live ArcCat while I talk about the next thing? Go search and see if they have a shower pan that you can put in the corner that has that 45.
I'm gonna go right now, just like Al was saying. So if you're watching on YouTube, hopefully you're watching on YouTube. You should be watching on YouTube. You get to see my beautiful punum, Al's beautiful punum. Look at this.
Whoa, dressed up.
Too impressed. Dressed to the hilt.
I'm not a semi-pro fisherman.
Nope.
I come prepared.
Nope. So what am I looking for? Shower pan.
Shower pan. I want one with a 45
pan,
so I can put it in the corner.
Yep. So I'm looking here. I even in the drop down.
Well, you can do this. Okay, you can keep.
No, go ahead. You keep talking.
Well, the reason why Lance is gonna see if he can find it, and then he'll let us know in a little bit.
Yep.
We have a Revit template. I want it in our template. We sell that template on RevitRocketShip.com, and it's not only our template, which is super, super, super helpful because we basically hone everything that you need. We make schedules, we make the views, we put the models in that you need, and we like the views. There's structural ready 3D views, so like you design the structure, it's in there, you can show it. It's very, very helpful, but it teaches you how to draw in Revit, how to draw correctly. We just got another review from it, and I'll put it on the show notes to read the review next time.
Oh man, I was just reading through them. We need to update Lindsay Fox's review here. She is not an owner, but she is an owner, and she
might be an owner.
She might
be an owner.
She does not own her home referrals. Instead, she owns Tiver.
Well, yeah. Well, she owns a lot. She still owns that too.
Oh, does she?
Yep.
My bad. Sorry, Lindsay. Love you.
So go there, check it out. Stay tuned for next week because I don't have this prepared. Someone took the course, and you'll be happy to hear what they had to say about it.
Well, while Al was rambling there, and I was looking up, I actually also look up RevitRocketShip.com. You can check that out. I searched on ARCAT as Al was asking for. I had the pull-down menu at the top here with the search, right left of the search bar. Search for BIM. Looked up shower pan. Boom. FSR Inc. Floor, table, wall boxes, accessory. There's a floor plan. A floor pan. Shower pan. Make that happen. Cool. See how easy it was? And ARCAT didn't ask for any more information. Go there, check it out, do your thing. Al Gore, what do we got?
No, you have another.
Oh, I got another.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I got, Al. I'll tell you exactly what I got. You have never experienced a brand like this before. That's right.
Huh?
The collection of brands within the luxury division of Pella are the conversation starters, the pioneers of industry who provide window and door solutions to discerning architects, the building industry, and beyond. They have decades of experience creating things no one else in the world is creating, and I mean that. You'll see in a second here. And the collection of brands are brought together to complement and build on one another. That's one of the best parts. They don't push beyond the limits. They set them. Explore PelloLuxury.com/the firm. Check that out. PelloLuxury.com/the firm. Then when you're there, all right, now what I've got pulled up here, Al, is once again, just want to show the viewers that Pella is not limited to residential high-end homes, although they work exceptionally well there as somebody who lives in a high-end residential home with Pella windows. But Penn State, the Dickinson School of Law, Katz Hall, by Enid Architects. Bam! I'm looking at them right now. I've got them pulled up. You're looking at it too if you're on the YouTube with us. Their windows look phenomenal in a commercial application, right? But they bring that residential warmth in with them. And I'm looking at specifically the Duratherm brand under the Pella Luxury brand. So go take a look at that. And tell me I'm wrong. Tell me you can't use this in a very modern, very contemporary, very commercial setting. So check those guys out. Give them a shot. Take a look at them for your next upcoming commercial project, and of course your residential products. Remember, they don't set the limits. They make them. PellaWindows.com/the firm.
Cool. I listened to that interview too Monday morning. It was good.
Timothy Downing.
Yep.
He's a good guy.
Are you gonna get Elon Musk's Neuralink?
Well, I tell you what, because these darn computers won't just do exactly what I want them to do. I can't go inside of them and make it happen. Yes.
So
whatever it takes for me to just be able to go in the computer and do what I want,
make it happen.
That's what I want.
Well, here's the other thing I thought about too, because a lot of people I think say, no or whatever. But think about we'll just do one job and how it could help improve your job. And this might be 10 years into the future.
Yeah.
Okay? And you almost might be forced to get it to be productive. A construction manager, right? Construction manager, you have all these details, right? You have all these specs. Then you have all these subs coming.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's an order of operations. And then you have all your supplies coming. And you're supposed to make all those supplies be on site when the subs are going to be on site and coordinate that huge logistical problem.
Yeah.
And it's hard to balance in your head, and you can grow your skills at that.
And what if I told you the
What?
suppliers often, 50% of the time, do not call or let you know when they're going to be there?
Yep.
It's a giant window.
Yep.
So
you can't balance it all in your head sometimes. So a lot of times you use these online programs, right? You put in information and then it's there. But you still have to go look. Still things can be missed. Like it happens all the time and it's a nightmare. What if there was an app in the Neuralink system that like you could literally like go into your head or into your brain and like see this whole thing in 3D through time, see the supplier, see like literally somehow know, oh, you haven't contacted that person in so long, you need to check up. You just like literally hit the call button in your brain or literally on your phone, and like all that information is instantly accessible to you right away on time. So instead of like, because here's one of the problems too, is like you might have to call someone, but then it's like, okay, then I got to find the sheets. I got to pull up the last email. Now you have like, you have an email thread to look through multiple different threads, and then you have the plans, and then you might have some notes from the clients, and then you got to, then you call them. Rather than that, like, oh, no, that can all just be in my head at the same time. Or, I can just think and it can go to those emails. I can just think and it can go to that area of the plan. Like, you would be such a better contractor. It'd be insane.
You would be. It'd be amazing. Yeah. And it's just a technological solution.
Yeah.
So, I'm not opposed to Neuralink.
Yeah. Know what I'm opposed to, though?
What are you opposed to?
This article in Bloomberg.
Oof.
It's titled, America Should Become a Nation of Renters.
June 17th, so 6 days ago, was published.
Yep.
We are recording early on June 23rd, 2021.
And I'll call out the writer, Carl Smith. I don't know who he is. I don't know if he's a shill for big banks. I was looking at, know what?
Well, he shares the same name as the most famous communist, so.
Funny. There's this other article that we'll go into later. It's you can buy an awful lot of home right now if you can find one. And it's basically the whole statement of that is that mortgage rates are at 3 to 3.5% when they used to be 4.5 to 6%. So you can buy a whole bunch more home. are you missing the fact that home prices have skyrocketed and you're buying a way smaller home?
Right.
Like, what is going on? And I thought, oh, is this person a shill?
I like that he gives a little bit of credit to Trump. The rate rebounded in Donald Trump's presidency, hitting 66% in 2020. I'm surprised.
Anyways, yeah. But like the mainstream news is lying to you, and I don't mean the
Corporate cathedral. Yep.
Trump, corporate institutional news.
Yeah.
Yep. But like this other editor doesn't seem corporate, seems left wing because they have a link to their Twitter. But anyways, it's just false. What they're basically saying in the first article that I mentioned should be a nation of renters is that, hey, it's prices are going through the roof. There's nothing you can do about it. So you might as well become,
a renter. Might as well give up
and
on that dream of affording any kind of property and gaining any kind of wealth that you could hopefully pass on intergenerationally to your family.
Yeah.
Give up on the American dream. Stop.
This is what's so crazy about it. The title is America Should Become a Nation of Renters. So I read it and I'm like, okay, what is your why are you saying that?
Yeah.
What is the benefit? Like, I expected some good research and like, hey, this is going to be great.
But it's an opinion piece. Let's state that. Keep going.
Is it an opinion
Yes.
piece? It's in politics and policy.
Which one? The America Should Become a Nation of Renters?
Yeah.
Politics and policy, but it literally says Bloomberg.com/opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
So-
Fox
so what
News
you
is
were-
also opinion too, but like it's on the Fox News channel. Like,
Yeah.
I get what you're saying,
Yeah.
but like,
I'm just saying I think maybe lower your expectations with the corporate press because having some numbers like you were saying is just not a thing. Number one, because it's an opinion, but number two, I mean,
yep.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and they have an editor responsible for this story.
Even in the opinion side, you have an editor.
Right.
Absolutely.
So their main reason why, like, this is okay,
and why it's a good idea to
why is because it will become more efficient for you to move. And overall, if you do like the math, like it will save the economy like 0.05% or something like that, which works out to a whole bunch. Like, okay, if you're saying that that's the reason why we should do that, one, let's go to like what you're missing out on. Owning a home is not only one of the bedrocks of the American dream.
Yep.
It's the bedrocks of the American dream because it's the way to build intergenerational wealth, or just wealth for yourself,
or just wealth in general.
Me and you have made money off of our homes because we've owned it, right?
Yep. The first ones that we just took care of and
Yep.
improved a little bit.
So I'm going to make up a number. Let's just say we made $50,000 on our homes. If we didn't own our home, who is making that $50,000? The banks, the big institutions that are buying up these homes, and we'll go like why this is happening, right?
Yep.
Okay, and then that was just that we only had our homes for like a couple of years, and then we happened to move just because like I was expanding, you were expanding your family, stuff like that. So is the ease of ownership worth $50,000? The ease of moving, is that worth $50,000? Here's another thing.
That's a pretty short-term way of thinking about it. Here's another way to think about it too, and this is the thing that drives me nuts. So let's say you're going to buy a $300,000 house, right? I think the first false thing that people don't know. So you don't know what you don't know, and so a lot of people are afraid to ask questions.
Yep.
And one of the first things that I remember like being an epiphany to me was, and it should be to a lot of people, is like your first house you can get for 3.5% down, not 20%, not 25%. Right? A lot of people think you got to have the 20 to 25%, but here's the math I'm going to do for you. Okay.
Yep.
So let's say you bought a $300,000 home.
Yep.
And you put down 3.5%. That means you have to put down $10,500. Yes, that's still a lot of money to a lot of people, and all of that, right? But I want you to think of, so let's say, and there's a couple examples of this, some real estate that we've been involved with lately. Let's say they increased by $120,000 within 6 months. I'm not joking either. And so let me get the number to that. So let's say increased by 30% in the last 3 months, right? Here's the way to really think about that $120,000 increase. So let's say that $300,000 house just for sake of numbers, increased by 30%. That's $100,000, right? $100,000 divided by $10,500. Your initial input into that. You've 9x your return. You can't do that in a stock market. That's the way to think about when you invest in real estate. It's not about you annihilate the stock market, actually.
Yes. But then also, let's say you weren't going to do that and you're going to do the more long-term traditional, not think about an investment.
And just I'm going to pay this thing off.
Hold it for 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
That is also a great way to build wealth, because this article is saying like, oh, just pay rent for every time, because, hey, in case you want to move the 2 or 3 times in your life, it'll be a little bit more smoother.
I don't understand how it's more smooth, because you're not selling property, because you can just get out.
Yeah, because it doesn't take you 1 to 3 months to sell your home. Like it's stupid. Like they're looking at it at like, okay, instead of 1 to 3 months to sell your home, you can move in a month instead of 3 months. Oh, what is that worth, right? Oh, that means that it'll be more liquid, so that people can move more and all this other stuff. But you're missing out on what you said. But you're also missing out on, hey, when you're 55, 65, a lot of people's houses, let's say you can't take care of yourself because you become physically disabled, right? That's where the government will literally take your house and put you in a nursing home. Or you can sell your house and do that. Or you can sell your house and move into something smaller, and you've just accumulated $400,000, $500,000 in wealth versus zero if you're putting that to rent, versus zero. Is moving a couple months sooner or quicker, easier, worth $500,000? That's craziness.
It's crazy talk.
That's craziness. Yeah. And also,
we might be in the age of convenience, but at some point, like, I mean, let's not get over convenience. I mean, it really, but honestly, does this surprise you? Think about it this way. A lot of people, and I'm kind of guilty of this too. I don't do it too often. I only text you maybe once every week or every 2 weeks, and I go, hey, do you want a bullshit drink? And what that means for me and Al is,
some Mocha Boca.
We're going to go get some Mocha Boca latte, chate, sweet treat thing from Starbucks. Yeah. But for the most part, this thing right here is filled with U-Ban coffee. It's like $10 every 30 days. I get it auto delivered to me.
Yeah.
So like, that's not everybody though. A lot of people are still doing the $3 and $5 coffee every single day. We live in this age of convenience. There's a reason why Starbucks is so successful. I like Starbucks. Not to crap on them or anything, but like, it shouldn't be a surprise that there's mainstream articles coming out like this with just literally kind of preying on that whole psychology we're in now.
Don't let your short-term thinking negate your long-term gains. Don't let your short-term thinking negate your long-term gains. So yes, okay, maybe that's a little bit more convenient, but look what you're missing out on. Yeah. Also, this came from, what are they calling it? Crystal and Sagar, Breaking Points. Those people. That 3% is no longer being able to be competitive to get a house. Right. Did you know that?
Yes.
It's now like you have to come 20% or you have to come cash, because institutional like buyers like BlackRock are buying all these houses. If it wasn't a smart move, would they be buying them? So they're just telling you, hey, don't worry about it, don't do it, even though we're doing it because it's a smart move. Do you think BlackRock is buying them because it's a bad move?
And here's the thing. Yeah, and here's the thing. Nothing comes easy in this world. So in the age of convenience, when everything does come easy in this world, or a lot of things can, just understand that, like, oh, you're just gonna have to work twice as hard to get that house at 3.5% or 5% down than what you would have had before. Maybe you need to shift your thinking of like, oh, I don't get to live in Denver. Oh, now I have to live 45 minutes outside of Denver. Maybe, just that's kind of your life at this point. And then if you think long term, maybe it is like, okay, I will sacrifice living in this house that I buy outside of Denver 45 minutes for 2 years, get enough equity in it to where the point where I could sell it, get out capital gains free, and then move closer to Denver. Repeat processed every 2 years.
Yep.
That's a house hacking. And then the other thing you do, so like, let's say you get the first house down for 3.5%. I don't know if you know this, but it only requires 10% for a second house for vacation homes. There's all kinds of ways to house hack and still get in it. This is such a terrible psychological experiment and idea that the corporate press is pushing for people, especially younger people. Horrible.
Yes.
Horrible. You got to wonder, if I put my tinfoil hat on, you got to wonder if there is some banksters and oligarchs behind stuff like this because of the institutional push to buy housing.
Well, it could be, but know what? If it's not, if you take your conspiracy hat off, it could be on. But if I was this person, and if I wanted to make money and didn't have morals and was giving out bad, terrible advice, and I'll tell you why it's bad, terrible advice, besides everything that I just pointed out, is, hey, I'll write this article. And then, like, I need interviews with these high people. I introduce them. Hi, my name is blah, blah, blah. Here's some articles that I wrote so you're familiar with my work. Would you be available for an interview, blah, blah, blah. And they see the articles like, oh, yeah, I'm going to talk to this guy. Or girl, I don't even know who.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the main point was, hey, it's easier to move, right? Mm-hmm. So why just accept that and say, hey, we're going to give up all these opportunities and all these monies and literally make the wealthy wealthier. And we're not opposed to that in a general sense, but we're saying don't do it at your own expense. You know, isn't there a market-based solution for that? And there is. Have you heard of Orchard.com?
No.
So Orchard.com specializes in.
I'm looking at
this is like their. If you scroll down, it says Orchard makes home buying stress free. Never miss out on a great home because you haven't sold your current one. Mm-hmm. So I don't know.
They must hold it for you.
They hold it for you, or they sell it for you, or they have, like, let's say on whatever website, Zillow, your house is worth $320. They'd say, like, hey, if we can't sell it, we'll
makes sense.
We'll at least sell it for $300. So, like, if you want to buy another home for $300, go ahead. Once we sell it, and if it goes for higher, you get higher. We obviously get our rate. Everyone's happy. Like, holy cow, there's solutions to this.
Well, they take out the contingency. Like this, I'm just looking at this website here. Says one of the things that says that Jason and Melinda made the winning home offer without a home sale contingency. So that's interesting. Meaning that, like, your current house isn't the offer to the new house isn't contingent on you selling the old house. Mm-hmm. Massive.
Become a cash buyer. So they make you into a cash buyer. Like, come on.
And then you had an article, then you had a link here to Crystal and Sager's "America Should Not Become a Nation of Renters" YouTube video. And they're basically refuting what this silly boy said.
Yes.
Carl.
Exactly.
Typical Carl. Karl Marx, Carl whatever your name is. Horrible opinion.
Horrible.
Wouldn't it be hilarious? You know what's funny about every single time? Honestly, every single time you see these people, they end up being hypocrites, right? Wouldn't it be funny if Carl Smith owned like 5 rentals? His own house, a vacation house, and 3 rentals? Like, come on, man. It's easy for you to say this, let's become a nation of renters. You want more renters. Honestly, like, who knows if that's true, but I'm just saying, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. That's why, like, the other article, you can buy an awful lot of home right now if you can find one. It's very not as egregious as this. It's just literally like you didn't think about the other part. I looked up this person too, and it was a left-winging person because I thought, oh, maybe this person is a corporate shill too. But it's like, what? Like, you're a hypocrite in the other way. Like, you just gave bad advice to, like, normal people.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Anyways, let's go into some architecture stuff.
Yeah, you have another report. Who's this one from? Is this the AIA too?
Oops, this one is the AIA. Same thing. We're just going through it slowly.
Okay, Al's going to pull it up on his computer here.
I'm trying to...
He's going to hit
there
record
we go.
So we can show it to you on the YouTube.
Okay. Let's see if I can move this down a little bit. And I can.
Awesome.
So there's a breakdown. Mm-hmm. And I'll ask you, because you can't see my screen right now, right?
I can't. I was just going to ask, should I pull it up? But no, you're just going to explain it to me.
Percentage of work from different industries, okay? So there's residential, commercial. Commercial is also industrial, but I'm just going to say commercial. Residential, commercial, institutional. Architecture firms were surveyed. Which one is the most?
That has the most what? What am I?
Billing.
So
architects get the most billing from either.
And it's either
residential, commercial, industrial / or
institutional.
Yep.
I would say residential at this point.
You are dead wrong.
Wow.
You're absolutely opposite.
Wow.
17.5%.
What's it?
Residential.
Institutional?
Yep, 51.7.
Makes sense.
And then commercial is 24.5%. So institutional with it, higher ed, K-12, healthcare, other government. Yep. Government is only, well, it says other government at 5.5%. Higher education is 12.1. K through 12 is 13.6. Think about that. K through 12, 13.6%. Right? Commercial is, in commercial, the highest is office at 12%. Now, on the residential side, I feel like a lot of architects are residential architects. We are residential architects. Multifamily is 10%. Single family is 7.6%. And then it just goes down from there. So, isn't that crazy?
It is crazy.
Okay.
Al's leading the show.
I'm leading the show. So, in the institutional, which is the highest, 44% of it is new construction, 50% is renovations. So TIs, things like that.
Yeah.
That makes sense, right?
Yep.
Residential, 58% of it is new, 40% is renovations, rehabs, retrofits, things like that, right? So it's all about 50-50, right? Okay. This is about square footages, the next piece of information. So we'll start with multifamily. There's 3 categories for multifamily homes: less than 12,000 square foot, 12,000 to 1,800,
1,200 to 1,800.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. 1,800 and up. How much % less than 1,200 square feet?
But this is single family, not multifamily?
This is multifamily.
So each unit is under 1,200,
Yep.
possibly.
Yep. So like 1199 it has to be.
I'm saying 70%.
Wow, great guess. 72%.
Nice.
Yep. Then 1,200 to 1,800 is 17%. 1,800 and up is 10%. Single family. So it is less than 1,800, not 1,200, is the first category. And that is at 31%. 1,800 to 4,000 is at 42%. So that's the bulk of it. And then above 4,000 square foot is 26%.
Okay. Now that is pure, the single family stuff is pure market driven. That is pure market, I think, as close as you can get, meaning like the consumers are actually demanding that all day long. Multifamily is different because the developer's just going to set the standard of where they're at. And honestly, at the end of the day, as a developer, I'm telling you, like, you're trying to squeeze as many units as you can onto a piece of property to cushion your bottom line and make the risk worth it all.
It's a shark eat shark world. I have to say that in development, because you have to maximize, because there's multiple reasons. The city and the building department are sharks literally attacking your project, and sometimes like with no rational.
They're not even sharks. They are whatever kind of trash fish, like a shiner. If anybody knows what a shiner is,
yeah.
They are just eating all your minnows, and like you can't eat that shiner. They're definitely not like a freshwater shark like a walleye where you could eat it. Horrible.
Yep. Then you have other developers. Then you have the financial people loaning you money, going up. Then when I said other developers, meaning you're competing against other people too. So like if someone fits in a whole other unit and can offer it for a better price, or then like you might be out of luck. So it's a very difficult world. And also too, like multifamily and apartments make sense that one owner, like that more institutional buyers are in it. This is what we forgot about the last segment, and we touched on it a little bit. I have an issue with huge institutions buying up single family homes in neighborhoods. Like, okay, you buy an apartment building. That apartment building, all the exterior has to be managed, all the landscape has to be managed. There has to be a management company getting people in and out. Makes sense. But going into a suburban, it seems like an invasion of the American dream.
Absolutely. A corporatization of the American dream. Yep.
And like, yeah, I mean, I could say, hey, fair game, all's fair in love and capitalism. But
Here's the problem, though. We're in the level of cronyism. Like this is not laissez-faire capitalism in the way that I want it to be, where there's no rules, there's no regulations, and there's no interjection of the government. And so the problem, so it's not fair because the game is tilted in the favor of the big guys. Everybody wants to complain about these $1,200 stimulus checks that came out to the common man and woman, but what they're failing to remember is, like, do you know how many PPP loans were given to people? And if the businesses on the first round didn't have to prove that they needed it. The second round, they had to prove that they needed it. I think I have in like losses 2 consecutive quarters and stuff like that. But that's a lot of money. That's a lot of free money at a magnitude larger than the $1,200 checks by like 10, 20, 30, 40, 100 times. A lot. And that money just went straight to the corporations, the CEOs. There's no reason why the corporations can't do exactly what they're doing. Form another LLC and start buying up single-family houses.
But there's even
what else are they going to do with their money? It's like Elon Musk. Well, what else am I going to do with all my cash? Oh, buy Bitcoin because I know, like, screw the dollar. Dollar's trash. I'm going to put it into some asset that's going to go up, like housing or Bitcoin or gold or silver or whatever else.
But there's even more cronyism and bigger than that. So they called it something like the Main Street Initiative, and there was a Main Street Initiative loan program. So they were going to open up the lending window to smaller companies. These institutions get lending windows that me and you do not have access to. I think in Washington there's some physical window that they can walk up to, and they stop you, and their lending rates are like below 2%. Below 1%, 0% for some of these bankings and these institutions. I guarantee they can turn that money into, we're gonna somehow use this to buy loans. Even if someone said, oh no, that's not how it works, Al, we can't directly do that. Of the 400 wealthiest people, the vast majority of them are not Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk.
Right.
And I say that, I mean, like, I say that in whatever you think about them, I'm categorizing them in the people who make stuff. Those two make things, obviously, with their corporations. The vast majority are financial people who do financial wizardry that just make that literally goes to that cronyism point of, like, they can get money for cheaper, maybe not only from the government, but from other institutions where they have to have money, like, saved up. They can lend it out to each other for cheaper. They literally call it paper. Like that was like the AIG crash, was these corporations loan daily to weekly paper to each other at a lower rate that we cannot get. And why I tied it to that Main Street program is because I looked at it. Because, like, hey, instead of paying 4.9% on this building or whatever, why can't we get a 1.1% loan? And it was, this Main Street program, you have to have between 500 and like 5,000 employees. It's like, I don't know if that's really Main Street. 500 employees is a lot of employees. That seems like a high bar to get to.
Yeah. Definitely.
Isn't that crazy? That, like, hey, if you have this many employees, you can have this. Why couldn't anyone have gotten that rate?
Cronyism.
Yeah.
It's all rigged. Okay.
I don't even know where we were, Lance. That was my report. That was my firm report. Those were the numbers for that firm report.
Yeah, very interesting. Especially the contrast between the multifamily and the single family. It's kind of telling. Okay, how to get out of the trouble with the city. Al, what the heck?
Yeah. Sometimes you get in trouble, Lance.
Even if you try to do the right thing all the time.
Yep. So I got in trouble with the city. There was, to simplify it, a bunch of inspections. Some were required, some were optional.
And they said, I looked at the inspection card that Al showed me, and it literally had them in brackets. And it said, for instance, like framing, optional. And it's like, well, okay, if it's optional, all right. Can I take that at face value?
And so I had to go down to the city. This is a different city. Talk to the building official. And the second, like, not the guy in charge first came up, and he goes, he was like, actually, so why are you here? I don't know why you're here. And it was kind of like a blunt introduction. So I stopped and I said, hi, my name is Alex. I'm here because I messed up and we're trying to make it right. So, like, that opening phrase was I think just put them totally off guard. They go, oh, okay, what happened? How did you mess up? So I said, well, I got the permit card for all these. I looked at all these. There was a bunch that didn't apply. There's a bunch that say optionals, and there was a bunch that said, required. So I did the required, and I missed some of these. And the first thing that person said then was like, oh, our system is so terrible. We've been trying to get them to fix that forever. Like, and then just started being helpful. So it was.
I like that you took the temperature down right away.
Take the temperature down.
You have to. You have to try. And sometimes it takes 2 or 3 tries, don't you think? Sometimes it really will take you like, okay, God, give me the patience to do one more. Oh my God, I got to do it again. Okay, one more time. Yep. After 3 times, I think you can quit.
There you go. There's your rule. And then the other thing too was like, I think it was also key, explain why you thought it that way. Because sometimes it's staff, sometimes me, I'm sure, sometimes you. I'm sure this has happened where like, I know this has happened where I thought some email or something you did like, why did you say it like that? Why did you do it something like that? And I might have asked nicely and you're like, okay, I was thinking this. It's like, oh, that makes sense. It might literally make me think like, oh yeah, that wasn't stupid. Or like, oh, I can see how you thought that way.
Sure.
I can see how you thought that way.
Sure. Yep.
It just totally...
Yeah, and I think when you're face to face too, I'm finding myself wanting more face to face action with people.
Yep.
Because I'm so tired of emailing and texting and
miscommunication,
interneting through the miscommunication and not reading people, and just the dehumanization that has occurred in the last decade. I think is really terrible. So what I'm getting at is like, I'm glad Al was face to face with this, because people can tell if you're lying just by your body language, and you might not even consciously know if you're lying. It might be a subconscious, like, oh, I can just sense that they're genuine with what they're saying. Like Al said, hey, here's my name. Here's why I'm here. Honestly, here's how I interpret it. I'm sorry if that's wrong.
Yep.
I tried hard.
Yep. And then I even learned something new, like, and I knew not to head into it like, oh, the way we do it in our city, the way we do it in this city.
Oh, so smart. Don't do that. That is a great point.
Yep.
Let's emphasize that real quick, okay?
Yep.
So we've made this mistake before in meetings with like planning and zoning or something, and we said like, well, Lakewood's doing it this way, and let's say we're talking to Longmont. You can't. You just can't do that.
Yep.
It's like literally you set this landmine, and then they're going to step on it after you're done talking.
Yeah.
It's weird. Just don't do it.
Yep. It's almost as someone said, well, my other architect did it that way.
Yeah,
like, I don't care.
There you go.
I don't care.
That was a perfect way of helping to bring the audience into it. Yes, I felt that in my body right now.
Yeah, like,
okay.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Or another architect, yep.
Yep. Okay, that's all I have. Do you have any friends, buddies, anything?
Well, every week, one of the things I look forward to besides catching alpine lake trout up at 12,000 feet is listening to Nick with Nick Reads.
Let's have a listen.
Hello, best friends. Hope you all had a great week this week. A reading. When you grow up, you tend to get told that the world is the way it is. And your life is just to live your life inside the world. Try not to bash into the walls too much. Try to have a nice family life. Have fun. Save a little money. That's a very limited life. Life can be so much broader once you discover one simple fact. Everything around you call life was made up by people that were no smarter than you. And you can change it and you can influence it. Once you learn that, you'll never be the same again. Steve Jobs. Toodles.
So it reminds me of the epiphany when you become an adult and you go, oh, the adults don't know everything. Got it. It's kind of like what you and I were talking about with kids earlier before we started recording. Where it was like, we both did this. We both read all these parenting books, and with the first kid especially, like you're like, you know what? I'm gonna be all prepared for this and know exactly what to do. and then the first one that turns out nothing like the books say they are going to do, and then you go, and then I think there's a panic attack that happens, but then at the same time you're like, oh, great. So we're all kind of at the same area of more or less making it up as we go.
Yeah. I agree. Sorry. The reason why I'm kind of stopped is because we started off that conversation with my kid spidering himself.
Yep.
On the asphalt.
Face is all
and
cut up.
It's just repeating, and like I had a hell of stop from laughing, especially when I was giving him to the wife. She's like, why did you let him run on the asphalt? Like,
do you remember
this is what we do?
Do you remember we like so little baby Kaya, my daughter? That's exactly what happened. Me and Al took her and Kyler on a camping trip, just us two, being seahorse dads, and she fell and like she cried, but like I wasn't panicking or anything. It was just like, oh,
Yeah.
all right. That's every single kid face plants once like that. I swear.
Hard one. hard face
And
plant.
yeah, it makes you cringe, but it's like, there you go. So that is something that is missed in every freaking book. I don't know.
Yeah,
Parenting
yeah.
books.
Yep.
We're all there.
Okay. Should we bring down everyone for A.R.E. Jeopardy?
I got some good questions. Here we go. Whoop.
Question 1. An architecture firm is expanding into a new market and has been selected to design a new hospital building on an undeveloped site with the design bid build delivery method. When you are preparing a proposal, which factor should the architect not consider? Okay. Is it A, level of risk associated with the project? B, project scheduling. C, specialty consultants required. Or D, capabilities of the contractor.
Tough one, huh?
Tough one.
Which
This is
factor
A.R.E. questions
should the
because
architect not consider?
it's like
that's a
four
terrible way of
factor,
wording it.
but also it's like there's 4 pieces of critical information.
Yeah.
All right, you ready? If you don't know,
It should be
it's
easy.
guess time. Yep. DC, B, D. It is D.
Correct answer. Great job.
Capability of the contractor because it's design, bid, build, right? Why it's kind of messed up is like design, bid, build, you don't have a contractor yet.
Right.
But the question makes you, it says capabilities of the contractor. So it kind of fools you a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. Question 2. What delivery method would best be suited for an adaptive reuse studio apartment project? Is it A, design, bid, build? Is it B, construction manager, constructor? C, construction manager, agent? Or D, cost plus fixed fee?
Interesting.
Builder Lance. Builder Lance. Okay. Delivery method. What delivery method would best be suited for an adaptive reuse studio apartment project? Okay, C, D, A. Correct answer is D, cost plus fixed fee. With these adaptive reuse, you never know what's going to go. You never know what's going to happen in there. You never know if you're going to open up a wall and that wall is not going to be a wall. Ringing any bells? Pantry people? Nope. He didn't get it, but you got it. We have a construction project where they open up the wall and the RFI was, this wall has no characteristics of a wall. It's metal sheet that somehow is holding up this part of the building.
Yes, sir. All right. These questions I'm really excited about. What is the abbreviation meaning? What is the abbreviation meaning for PT as it relates to common fasteners? Is it A, plated thread, B, partial thread, C, platinum thread, or D, plenum thread? What is the abbreviation meaning for PT as it relates to common fasteners? What do we got? We have B, B, A. Correct answer is B, partial thread. What is the abbreviation meaning for RD as it relates to common fasteners? Is it A, right-hand thread, B, rotated head, C, reticulated threads, or D, round head? What is the abbreviation meaning for RD as it relates to common fasteners? One more time with the answers. A, right-hand thread, B, rotated head, C, reticulated threads, D, round head. Round head. Not dead. Round head. You got it. What do we got? We have A, B, and D. The correct answer is D. What do we got for a count? Well, you got two. Oh, we got a tie. Rossosaurus, you are in now.
Here you go.
To read the tiebreaker that Markitect put together.
Okay, everyone ready?
Eat the mic.
Which grade of rigid copper pipe has the thickest walls and is most appropriate to use in underground installation? A, type M, B, type K, C, type L, or D, type N?
Tyler got it.
Tyler's the winner.
Tyler's the winner. Go Bison.
Immediately, where are we going to eat? He has no idea.
It's Wednesday. We'll figure that out Friday. If you'd like this episode or have a favorite episode, please share this episode or the favorite episode with a friend so we help grow the podcast listenership. Don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube. Don't forget to give us a rating on the iTunes, and we will see you next week.